Welcome, dear viewers, to this segment where different stories and different experiences meet. Alhamdulillah, today we have three wonderful guests from different countries, and inshallah ta'ala we will talk with them, chit and chat with them, and know about them. So we have brother John from United States, and specifically from Oregon, and we have brother Shawn from United States, but the city never sleeps, New York, and we have also brother Yahya from Germany. So quickly, if we can start from brother John, just a little bit, tell me about yourself, your background, and the place that you grew in.
Well, my name's John. My background is in yachts and boats. I'm a shipbuilder by trade. I'm an engineer. I've been in Kuwait for many, many years. My background, I grew up in Italia, but I'm an American, 100% American. And
okay, so this is actually just a little bit, what you said, but of course we have a lot of things to be asked later on.
Yeah.
So we'll shift to Shawn now, for example, just a little bit about yourself, Shawn.
at some point.
Sure, we'll talk, we'll discuss later, but let's just quickly about Shawn. What about yourself?
Well, I'm Shawn. As Mohammad said, I'm from New York, the city that never sleeps. Grew up there. My major is political science, so I'm interested in law and politics and things like that. I joined the military at a very young age because I wanted to travel and I wanted to see the world. So now it landed me here in Kuwait, and I'm here to see, what leads me next.
Great. And what about brother Yahya? What about you? Where are you from? A little bit about yourself, your city.
Yes, I'm from Germany, especially from Mainz. I was born. Growing up there also. I was studying graphic design or communication design. And afterwards I came here to Kuwait and joined the company Natureland as a graphic designer. I'm living here since 7 years.
So of course, as what we understand here, like we have different, backgrounds. A person is an engineer in yachts. You, mashallah, have different experience. You're a graphic designer. So let's start with now yourself, brother Yahya. Now, what made you to accept Islam? And of course, before accepting Islam, it should be something happen with you, like, is it reading or reasoning or a sign from Allah Almighty? Like, what exactly happened? If you just quickly tell us what happened with you.
Yeah, my story is like this. As a preparation for my studies, I went to a city called Trier. And this was in springtime. The first days were very nice. I went to the riverside, and someone invited me for tea, and it was in front of a mosque. So there he started asking me questions, just a little chat, like we have right now. And he asked me this very important and simple question: who's God for you?
So the one who invited you for a tea, he's a Muslim?
Yeah, he was a Muslim.
Okay.
In front of a mosque, yeah.
And he invited you, I think, inside the mosque?
No, we stood out in front of the mosque, and then he asked me these questions, and I was like, wow, okay. I thought of myself, I'm like a spiritual person, because I read many things, and I was also like in a philosophy in school. I had like some extra classes for philosophy, and I thought, okay, I know some things, but as he asked me this very, very important question, I couldn't answer correctly.
And the question was, who's God
for me? I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know God. So then, we came and came together another time. He invited me for going to the mosque. And as I sat with him in the mosque and some other brothers, we just had a chat, but I was feeling so comfortable. Like this feeling I had was undescribable, like this
being with this guy, you mean, and talking in
this
topic.
Yeah, only to sit in the mosque and talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the religion.
Great.
It was
We
great.
will continue because it seems very interesting story. Because
Yeah,
you know
sure.
the starting was like just inviting for a tea, right, and asking a question.
Yeah.
Now, if we go with Shawn, like again, how you discover Islam, what's your thought about Islam before you became a Muslim, who made you to really know about Islam, what was the introduction, just briefly.
Well, my story started in Iraq, and the events of 9/11. At that time, I didn't have a great opinion of Muslims, and I went to Iraq, and from there, we used
Sorry, you're going there as a work or with the military?
military.
Military, okay.
Yeah, while I was in the military, I got sent to Iraq and Afghanistan. But while in Iraq, a Muslim actually, gave me dawah from just trading a piece of bread. I used to be in one of the guard towers, and we had water, fresh water, and the Iraqis, they didn't have. So this Iraqi family would, use the burn pit to make fresh Iraqi bread. And we would trade bottles of water for the bread. And after, my perception of Muslims, they changed. It wasn't all bad like we saw on television. All Muslims weren't, the T word, So from there, I decided to, hey, I want to know more about this religion, Islam.
Which year are you talking about now?
This was about the year of 2004.
Okay.
Yeah, 2004. Yeah.
So that humbleness of people, it clicked, right?
It clicked, It made me think, television, they portray Muslims this. In real life, the Muslims are this. And from there, just something that simple, dawah that simple, caused me to be a Muslim, what I am today.
MashaAllah. Of course, we will go more in deep because again, this is linked with your decision, life decision, with your family, etc., etc. But again, in short, we'll go and shift to Brother John. And again, as you said, that you're an engineer, you're working in that yacht field. Again, who introduced you about Islam? What made you to look into Islam? Well, this is something quickly.
Three different perspectives. First, I went to an international school for intermediate school. So I had Turkish and Moroccan Muslims in my school.
From the beginning? So
From the beginning.
Okay.
But I lived in the Catholic community in Italia. So you have to understand that the Catholics are very strong and very anti-Muslim at that time. And this is 1986, 1987, and we had a T word threat from Muammar Gaddafi with a car bomb in front of my school. And they made everybody question Islam in our school. But it took the Moroccan and the Turks that were in our school to bring dawah to all the different students to say that Muslims aren't bad, not all Muslims are this way. That's how I first understood Islam. And then after that, I became lost. Okay. And as I said, I worked on yachts, and I worked as a sea captain for a while, and I spent many years sailing. And I've been very afraid out in the ocean. And I would spend my salaries going to the bar. My dean was the bar. And it wasn't life. It wasn't a life. And it took one day that I got mugged, ended up in the hospital, and somebody, a friend of mine that had recently become a Muslim, brought me a book to read called the Encyclopedia of Islam. He said, while you're in the hospital, read this.
He's a Muslim friend?
And yeah, he was a friend that had just become Muslim 6 months before at Brown University in Rhode Island.
And a close friend?
Yes.
Okay. And he, after seeing you going through this difficult time and a problem and drinking and all these things, he just gave you...
So the Encyclopedia of Islam.
Okay.
And that started my quest for studying religion. So from that, I went backwards. I went backwards and said, okay, wait a minute. The oldest synagogue in America is in the town I was living in. And so I went to them and said, give me some books to read. So I wanted to understand how the Jews understood the Torah. Then I went and took a correspondence course in Christianity. And I said, wow, well, there's a lot of different. But then I started getting back. Then I went to Islam, which I find that Islam is the walk. Judaism teaches you the law. Christianity teaches you spirituality, the talk. Islam teaches you the walk, the way to live.
So,
Okay? And from that, all my studies culminated, and I accepted Islam.
that's actually, I'm just thinking, all of you answer, like, for example, for him, it was just a question, like, who's God? Brother Yahya, and then the brother Yahya was like really thinking about, who's God? And he was thinking that, okay, I'm a spiritual person. I know how to, maintain my, spiritual life and whatsoever. But one question I think made you really think. And about you is just looking at the reality, not what you hear, not what you see.
Exactly.
Look at the reality of Islam and Muslims. Humble people made you also think. So Islam in the characters
And
of
the
people.
correct practice, yes.
Exactly. And for you, it was just a person is giving you a book or a booklet to so you read and you understand what Islam is all about. So, mashallah, that's really interesting, but the time is up and we would like to continue, inshallah ta'ala, but in the next episode. Dear viewers, the time is up for this segment and this episode, but we will shift to another segment. Stay with us, inshallah.